It's Red Eye Radio. Gary McNamara and Eric Harley talk about everything from politics to social issues and news of the day. Whether you're up late or you're just starting your day, welcome to the show. From the Uniden America Studios, this is Red Eye Radio.
All across America and around the world, we are Red Eye Radio. He is Eric Harley, and I'm Gary McNamara. Good morning.
Hello.
Welcome to a Thursday already.
Wow.
Yeah, when we played just before the top of the hour the Clinton cut, where he's where he was saying that that Biden did the most incredible thing.
Oh yeah.
He stepped down in essence to help the party. He voluntarily stepped out. The reason I said that they didn't, that the RNC isn't looking at these speeches, we can look at what happened the night before, as we were talking about with having Ana Navarro on, who's I'm an anti-communist, to the next speaker is Bernie Sanders, a communist who is putting down people that have money. And then the next person up is J.B. Pritzker, the governor, who is a billionaire, and then starts mocking Trump because he claims he's a bigger billionaire of inherited wealth.
Yeah. By the way, Bernie is a Democratic communist.
Oh, Democratic communist. Okay, just like a Democratic socialist. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But the reason is, there should be no mention of Biden. He's done.
Yeah.
To bring that up as he did, there's already enough dissension inside the Democratic Party right now because of that.
Yeah. Right.
And for him to bring that up, that's an obvious lie that everybody in the arena knows it's a lie.
Yeah.
You again are picking at the scab.
Yeah.
And that's why it shouldn't have been in the speech. But I don't think they're checking anything. After they released the platform and everybody's like, well, this is the Biden platform. Yeah, we just didn't get around to changing the names. What the hell are you talking about?
Right.
You're a multi-billion-dollar operation. What do you mean? You're starting a new campaign. You're trying to separate yourself from the current incumbent that you kicked out because he's so bad.
Yeah.
And you said you just didn't get a chance to change the names, and you had a month. All you had to do was put Harris campaign, Harris for president.
Right.
I mean, it's so. One of the things that comes from liberalism is not just an ideology that doesn't work, but I believe it creates incompetence.
Oh, yeah.
It creates incompetence. It creates laziness. It creates a lack of, as we know, the liberal ideas don't work in reality.
Right.
So if it doesn't work in reality, it's bogus to begin with.
Right.
So why try hard? You know it's not going to work.
Well, effort shouldn't be rewarded and failure should be eliminated. Everybody wins.
Yeah.
And think about it. Kamala Harris is the participation candidate.
Yeah.
She's the equivalent of a political participation trophy.
The participation president.
You don't earn it. You just get it. Why? Yeah. Well, because we bought it. Here it is. That's it.
Yeah.
Henry Cho, the stand-up comedian who's been around for decades, he had a bit the other day on YouTube, that a really short video, and he talked about coaching his kids' ball team. And he said, I did that for 8 years, and they got 7 years, they got trophies. And then, or he didn't do it every year, but he said, but then I came in as the coach, and they didn't get a trophy that year. They bought them. I didn't give it to them. And my kid was like, well, why didn't we get? Because you didn't win. And I was like, whoa. And the audience just laughed and applauded. And it's And it hits over and over. If you've been around long enough and you see it, you know the indoctrination, but you know the spirit of it all. And it is, we're going to reward you simply for existing, not for work. Because think about that. If it's earned, then when you work for something, that's where you build those levels of conviction, that passion for what it is that you are doing. In the American political landscape, we've seen it before. We've also seen people who lack conviction, have zero conviction, and believe that they should be elected, on things that, well, it's her time. It's what they did with Hillary. Now, she was really angry when she didn't win, but the Democrats kind of did that back in 2016, and we found that out from the DNC leaked emails. Yeah, Bernie's doing well, but really Hillary's going to, she's going to be the nominee. And Bernie supporters showed up at the convention then. They were angry then. And ultimately, she didn't win, but it's the same kind of thing. Now, except for the fact that people did vote for Hillary Clinton. Not one person has voted for Kamala Harris in this election. And it's just bizarre.
It really is. And just getting back to Clinton there, the problem with Clinton doing that, as he did, by bringing up Joe Biden. You don't want to bring up Joe Biden because he's a cancer right now to your entire campaign, because you're having to lie about it. And the last thing you want to do is put Clinton out there. And then today you're going to have people say Clinton said that he voluntarily was. That's going to be the talk inside the Democratic Party that's already split. There was just a story in Newsweek that, what is it? Let me just see. Did I keep it? From Newsweek, Muslim Women for Harris disbands, saying they can no longer support her. Why? They wanted a Palestinian representative speaking at the convention. Mm-hmm. We don't get it. You really don't care about us. You're just talking about it. You'll say anything to anybody just to get their vote. Yeah. But you don't believe anything. You won't do any interviews. You actually have a party, and you said this. This is like the beginning of, what do they call it when they first start the primary process?
It's the exploratory committee. Yes, they form a to look to basically feel out the waters and float ideas.
Right. This is the Democratic Party, an exploratory committee like you have at the beginning of the primary. Mm-hmm. They don't know where they want to go. They don't believe in anything except power.
Right.
Because you don't co-opt what Donald Trump believes that got us to the point last week of coming up with Kamega, because she was embracing, and the media picked it up immediately. Why are you embracing this? Because right now you have a party that can't tell the damn truth on anything.
Right.
Nothing.
Right.
You can sit there and say Donald Trump has lied before. Donald Trump doesn't lie about everything. Mm-hmm. And the things that he doesn't lie about where he stands on the issues. Trump will tell you where he stands on the issues.
Right.
Now, how to get there, he may evolve or he may have differing opinions at different times. But you know exactly what he wants to get done and where he stands on the issues. Here, think about this. Oh, the democratic process was followed. Everybody knows that's not true. One of the problems with Clinton saying that he voluntarily, what a great thing, as if he just decided out of the blue, I'm going to step down for the greater good of the party.
Right.
First off, the public's wondering, well, why the hell did he step down? You still haven't answered that question.
Right.
Well, for the best of the party. What do you mean? What do you mean? Are you saying he was sick? No, he's not sick. You're saying he has no cognitive problems? No. Well, what is it? Well, the polls were low. Oh, so the polls are low? The polls are low in July? Mm-hmm. And so you say you force the candidate out, the upper elite of the Democratic Party forces him out by telling him you will lose all funding. You'll get no funding. You'll have no money. You're gonna lose so big. And so you finally tell this cognitively challenged old man you will destroy his legacy. And then you claim He voluntarily did it. What a great
Right.
The families, the Biden family is livid, and everybody knows it exists. Everyone, even every Democrat knows. That's why Harris was not there when when the Obamas spoke, because Barack Obama was behind. He was leading the charge and Pelosi leading the charge to force him out. And then when Kamala Harris said, "Okay, it's going to be me," he held out as long as he could. He didn't want it. She admitted yesterday, Nancy Pelosi, she didn't want the system that went on.
Right.
Now that they're getting blowback, and the reason that she said that is they're getting blowback inside the Democratic Party, where people are saying, you're sitting there promoting the fact that you're about democracy. You forced this guy out, and then you put somebody in who's ran twice I guess technically she's running this time.
Right.
But she ran twice and never has received one single voter approval. Not one vote of approval from one Democrat voter. It was the party that put her in. Well, my God, that's like the Politburo in the former Soviet Union. What the hell are you doing?
Right.
And then he comes out, Doofus comes out, and I like to say that isn't it great that he just voluntarily, he just a goodwill of what a great guy. Everybody, you bring it right back up again, and that combined with now, I mean, when you had Shanahan of the vice presidential or candidate or running mate of RFK Jr. come right out and say, the party of democracy is not the Democrats.
Right.
The Democrats did everything they possibly could to keep Robert F. Kennedy off the ballot. Trump didn't do that.
Right.
The Democrats did that. We're going to be, if we do it with Trump, it's going to be the unity party. This is mind-boggling stuff, and all of it only leads to the fact that the Democrats don't give a damn about democracy. All they care about is power. The reason that she can't speak, the reason that Walz can't speak, they can't tell the American public what they truly believe and what they actually want to do, because they know the public won't accept it.
Well, it's clear now. There was no way in the world either one of them were going to do a press conference or sit-down interview before this convention was done.
It's been a month.
What does that tell you?
We're at a month now, right?
Yeah.
Full month.
There is no way they're going to do it before this convention is done. They need everything to be in place before they talk to the media, before they do a press conference. And it's because, you and I both believe this, she doesn't have confidence in herself. They don't have confidence in her. It's a recipe for disaster. Imagine doing that last weekend, which you would have done a lot of television interviews the weekend prior to your convention. At least one big one. Because you're trying to promote it. Hey, check us out.
I'm going to say here, sorry, I hit that by accident, but I'm going to play it again here. And then the Democrats decide, I mean, what are they going to do? Well, let's have a, let me see, what's the theme? Let's have a Partridge Family narrative. Come on, let's all get happy. And this is Clinton. This is bizarre.
Yeah.
Take it from a man who once had the honor to be called in this convention the man from hope. We need Kamala Harris, the president of joy, to lead us.
The president of joy. And you and I said that when Walz came out and twice said joy a couple of weeks ago. We went, oh, my God, they're going to run the party of joy. And that's actually what they're doing. And when you go out and you ask people, is this a time to be joyful as the Democrats are? No, that it shows they're not serious. I've seen so many interviews of people on the street, even Democrats that they've interviewed. What do you think about being the party of joy?
It's a poor attempt at taking her cackle and trying to turn it into something positive. Because they can't get around that. Her laughter is weird. It's a nervous laughter. It's a laughter that reeks of zero self-confidence But what they're trying to do is say, oh, no, that's joy. The smile on her face, that's joy. No, it's not. And people aren't happy. Joy for what? What are you promoting? Yeah. What are you going to do? What's your agenda?
And they won't tell you why. Because it's only about power. It's not about getting anything done. It's only about power.
Yep. And you don't have a say-so if you're a Democratic voter.
Right.
If you're a Democrat, if you vote Democrat,
well,
you got zero say-so in her being the nominee.
It's not about the democratic process. Mm-mm. It's not even about issues because they're all over the place on the issues.
And trying to say that the one guy that's been saying all along, remember after 2016, Biden, I could have beat Trump, I could have beat Trump, I could have beat Trump, I could have beat Trump. And then all throughout 2020, of course. And then I beat him once, I'm going to beat him again. And this is how you know because he will say this if she loses. He'll say it again. I could have beat him. What does that tell you? He didn't step down. That wasn't voluntary. Mm-hmm. If he says it, if she loses.
No, the liberal media, you can't debate it. The liberal media has already let us know.
Oh, yeah.
That he was forced out.
Well, we everybody knows it, but it is the definitive proof when he's saying, I could, well, then why didn't you stay in? I thought you voluntarily stepped down.
And who had the story? Was it the New York Times the other day, or New York Times or Washington Post, that the circle around him hid what was going on. Well, the American public knew it.
We know that.
It's like, thanks for telling us now.
Yeah, thanks for telling us what we were already seeing.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, and now with Robert Kennedy, and I guarantee they're going to do it. Look, the party of democracy is not, they've already said it, the party of democracy is not the Democrats.
Right.
And that's why I say, Clinton saying that, they should have caught that and said, no mention of Biden. He's done. Don't bring him up.
Democracy dies in darkness? No. Democracy dies at the convention of the Democratic Party.
866-90 Red Eye.
This morning's USDA Farm Report is brought to you by House Products. Tested, trusted, guaranteed since 1920.
A slight deterioration nationally in pasture and rangeland conditions.
34% of the nation's rangeland and pastures rated good to excellent, down a point from last week's 35%. Meanwhile, 34% very poor to poor, that is up 2 points from last week's 32%.
USDA meteorologist Brad Rippey says dryness is noted in regions such as the Pacific Northwest and Great Plains.
We are now above 60% very poor to poor in Wyoming, actually leading the nation at 66%.
And an area of the eastern Corn Belt. In the good to excellent condition category, pastures and rangelands in much of the Midwest reports positive ratings.
More than 70% good to excellent in the Mississippi River bordering states of Missouri, 79%, as well as Iowa, 72%, and Minnesota, 72%.
With greenness also extending into the Northeast and parts of the southern Atlantic region. I'm Rod Bain reporting for the U.S. Department of Agriculture in Washington, D.C.
This report brought to you by Cenex Fuels and Lubes.
Coming up, more with Gary McNamara and Eric Harley. It's Red Eye Radio.
It's Red Eye Radio. He's Eric Harley, and I'm Gary McNamara. Coming up, something Walz said last night, a bunch of different things, but this one just completely, and it's part of his narrative, and it's about, JD Vance overcoming poverty and attending Yale.
Yeah.
And he's been using that as a point of insulting JD Vance. Mm-hmm. And I think everybody's trying to think, why does he keep using that? What is the point?
Right.
We'll have that coming up.
Powered by windmills and solar panels. Red Eye Radio.
It's Red Eye Radio. He's Eric Harley, and I'm Gary McNamara. Welcome and good morning. Download our Red Eye Radio app today. You can listen to our podcast if you can't listen to our show overnight. All right, so here we go. This just, and when he said this in Milwaukee the other day, and he has said it at other stops, and we're just shaking our heads. We're like, what's the point? What's the point? It's unless they are so confident in the bubble that they live in that any type of success, of true success, is to be demonized. Yeah. Because that's how radical they are. Because if your goal is to go after independence, you'd never say this. Here's Walz, and this is all about JD Vance, coming from poverty to going to Yale.
Now, I grew up in Butte, Nebraska, a town of 400 people. I had 24 kids in my high school class, and none of them went to Yale.
He paused so they would all cheer. That was supposed to be a point.
Yeah.
And you sit there and you go,
you're bragging about that?
Yeah, here's, we'll go to Scott Jennings on CNN about this. Here we go.
Something he does that is so weird to me, the constant attacks on JD Vance for going to Yale. I don't understand this. I've heard Walz proclaim to be a small-town guy who wants everybody to get an education and succeed, and he spends a fair amount of time attacking JD Vance, who grew up poor and got worked hard to get an education and rise above his station in life, and he has used it as a punchline on the campaign trail, and I don't understand what he's trying to communicate to every small-town poor kid out there, saying, if you choose to work hard and go to an Ivy League school, you somehow abandon your hometown. I don't get it.
I don't get what it is, except what has existed in the Democratic Party before. That if I'm too good to work at McDonald's. I'm too good to work at this job. I'd rather be a criminal than work for the man.
Yeah.
That kind of mentality that has existed in the left of the Democratic Party. Is it mainstream now? Because it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't. And I'm so glad, because you and I were saying this the other day before we ever heard Scott Jennings. It's like he keeps pounding on this, and Scott almost said word for word what we've said. It just, what's the point?
Right.
You're saying success is bad? Should nothing be earned? Are you trying to say, is he trying to justify that Kamala Harris didn't earn the presidency and that's the good way to go? It's
another of the, I don't know how many moments of lack of self-awareness just this week alone. We're gonna demonize personal success in higher education.
Right.
Wow. I mean, from a liberal.
And it's not just an ad lib. That's written down. He's saying it exactly the same way at every speech. Right. This isn't like, well, okay, that was just an ad lib that he messed up. No.
Right.
They workshop this.
Yes. They believe this is what they need to go with. Who's responding going, yeah, that's wrong?
I can see them. I can see Harris tonight. And that Donald Trump. He built a commercial real estate empire with union construction workers building these incredible, beautiful skyscrapers and golf courses.
Creating
jobs all over New York City and all over the world, and creating beautiful golf courses and resorts out there. And then just stopping there and everybody going, boo.
Yeah, exactly. That's what this is the problem they have.
When you get to the point of saying, as we do almost every day on the show, Well, they can't get much more delusional than this, can they? Hold my beer, they say to Gary.
Yeah, right. Well, for years, the liberals have been promoting, we're the party that is supported by those with higher education. I mean, they've been bragging about that for years. Along comes Tim Walz. This guy went to college. What?
What is this? Red West from,
Yes, exactly.
From Black Sheep Squadron?
Hey, college boy.
College boys flying these planes. College boys.
Yeah.
With the cigar, unlit cigar in his mouth, though.
Exactly. Yeah, it's got to have a...
It's college boys.
Yeah, there's college boys.
It's college boys. It's college boys.
Yeah, what's that sheepskin worth there, college boy?
I was trying to think. I was like, are they trying to peg him and they don't know how to do it, that he went to Yale, therefore he must be an anti-Semite? I can't figure out where Walz is going with that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Can any Democrat write to me? Any Democrat? You don't have to call and be cross-examined. Just please, if you can explain to us what the message is there from Walz. Because I can't. Anybody else figure out what it is? Except the fact that, as we have stated, that he's trying to defend Kamala Harris. She didn't earn anything, and that's the way you should succeed. If you earn something in life, that's wrong. You need to not earn anything in life. You need to learn. You need to not get any votes and just automatically ascend to the presidency of the United States.
By the way, did Bill Clinton take offense to that? He went to Yale. He attended Yale Law. From Hope, Arkansas. A guy that pretends to be a guy, I'm just a regular guy from Hope, and then he just went to Yale. Hey, but I'm a liberal, so it's okay. Is he angry? That's what it is.
Well, maybe Bill figured out what it meant.
Or I don't know. Or Tim Walz is angry that a conservative went to Yale.
That's
maybe
the message.
That's the problem.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
They should not have allowed
a conservative
a
on
poor
campus.
Conservative onto the Yale campus.
Okay.
All right, we figured it out. All right,
it takes a minute for it to sink in with us. So.
We figured it out.
Yeah.
The other thing is the whole labor department. I want to make sure we get this in the whole labor department thing, and this is very important for any union members out there, that after the revised reports, the economy shed during that time period where they lost 819 million jobs, total manufacturing jobs were shed in that year period, 96,000. It's exactly what the Democrats want. And to union members out there, to your union leaders that are betraying you big time, especially in the UAW right now.
Yep.
My God. I mean, Sean Fain, you heard he said the other day, too, sitting down in a discussion going, this whole border thing is totally manufactured. You union people, I know you're listening because a lot of you listen from, in Detroit.
The members.
To WJR. But they think you're idiots. They think you're a bunch of fools.
Yeah.
You're just fodder to them. Right. They don't give a damn about you, and you pay them. There's a difference if somebody doesn't give a damn about you. There's a big difference when you pay and they still don't give a damn about you.
Right.
That's the biggest insult.
Openly.
Yeah, part of your hard work day is going for them to work against your best self-interest and throw complete lies at you each and every day.
Right.
Just amazing. Just amazing. Yeah, so, but that's the goal. The goal of the Democrats is to get rid of manufacturing. And you say, you guys are exaggerating. No, we're not. You know how?
No.
Because what leads to climate change?
Oh, manufacturing.
Yep. There's no way that you don't produce carbon gases in I don't care what you manufacture, you produce carbon gases into the atmosphere.
Yeah. They don't want factories
that.
or any kind of manufacturing here in the U.S.
Nope.
They don't.
Nope, they don't. We know that. Remember the time? God, we go back then. Was it 2016? 2015. Was it? No, it was August of 2016 when Obama wanted to get Hillary wanted to get rid of all the coal jobs. Remember, she had apologized and have the beer summit with the coal worker,
right?
And then Bernie came out and wanted to kill trucking jobs,
right?
Yeah, Bernie wanted to kill trucking jobs, and then Obama had to top them and said he'd kill more oil jobs.
Right.
And we're like, my God, it's a race to who can kill the most jobs.
Right.
Never forget that. That's where the Democratic Party stands.
Oh, yeah. It was very clear. They were trying to put the nail in the coffin.
And then I know what you're saying. Well, guys, that's ridiculous because you got to have jobs. They even know that. No, they don't. They're the ones they're the ones Biden ran his campaign that we can run the grid on solar and wind.
Oh, they'd love to set up a very expensive basic monthly income if they thought they could get away with it. If they had the votes.
Yeah.
I mean, you shouldn't have a job. Remember, Nancy? You should be free of these burdens and go chase your dream of being an artist.
That was for Obamacare.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it would apply to having a job. Remember Surfer Dude? Man, he should have been at the convention.
Whatever happened to Surfer Dude?
I don't know. He probably had to get a job.
Wonder if he ever became a productive member of society.
I doubt it. Maybe he did.
He's the one that got the food stamps, right? And he went on Sean Hannity, and Hannity, remember Hannity said, I can arrange right now for you, I think it was like an $80,000 job.
Yep.
Driving a truck. He goes, I don't think so.
Yeah, he's like, no, I'm good.
But that was a perfect example of the pathology of dependency, though, wasn't it?
Right. But
I'd rather do nothing for minimal sustenance than make a lot more money and have to work for it.
Right. Like communism,
That's what liberalism has become. Yeah, except in communism.
You have to work for the government.
Oh, yeah, you work.
Yeah, you work.
Yeah,
you work a lot harder.
Yeah,
and make a lot less.
Yeah, without the benefit.
Yes, but you get vodka or whatever it would be here in America. Tequila, Bud Light. Yeah, I'm very curious. This is so bizarre that Kamala Harris has not been. Say this out loud. CNN did this, the other night when she did the video thing, in a surprise video appearance. She's literally, and last night, literally phoning it in to Tim Walz. Hey, good luck out there. Nothing like wish I were there or nothing like that. Or, I can't, it's, and then they're pretending like the campaign stops last night in Milwaukee are more important than the convention. Yeah, and the convention. How in the world could that be the case?
I have no idea. No idea. And everybody knows the Obamas are here and you're not.
You're the nominee.
Walz
the delegates are there. Everybody's there but you.
Well, that used to be the thing where the candidate wouldn't show till the last night.
Mm-hmm.
But things are different now in the digital world.
Well, you would make your grand entrance. Now everyone expects you to be. I don't know that they expect you to be there on Monday. I would say Wednesday at the very least.
Yeah.
When your Veep is on stage.
But in the case of understanding the Democratic Party, if the Obamas are there, you're there.
Yeah, that too. Right.
Except the fact they can't be because, number one, people talked about the Biden and Obama fight, but it's also a Harris fight. They didn't want her, and she knows it. They didn't want her to be the nominee.
Right.
So everything you heard from the Obamas was a lie. They didn't want her.
Nobody buys that she has to be at a campaign stop and not at the rally.
866-90 Red Eye.
Lines open for your calls. 866-90-RED-EYE on Red Eye Radio.
It's Red Eye Radio. I'm Gary McNamara along with Eric Harley. Just so everybody understands, when you said, you can't understand why they went to a campaign stop and not the rally, you didn't make a mistake by not calling it the convention.
No, I called it a rally for a reason, because this has not been a convention. This has been a rally for their base. They are not trying to appeal, at least, I don't know, maybe they think they are, but there's zero appeal to the independent voter. This is not a showcase for their party like it should be. This is a rally for the people that are already supporting them, and it's weird. Day 4 is today.
This is Red Eye Radio on Westwood One.